This is the Segovia Show.
What's going on, everyone? It's Andres coming at you from a rainy, wet, and cold Southern California, and transmitting from Rumble Studio 2. I actually got a few today. It's going out to you on Locals, going out to you on YouTube, Twitch, on X. Also, I think it's Gang Gene World. Yes, Gang Gene World, D Live. Going out to everybody today. So, greetings to the newcomers over at Gang Gene World. It's been a very interesting 36 hours. Thank you very much. My entire library is pretty much mirrored over there. So I don't know why the sudden uptick, but I welcome it. So thank you very much, everyone over there. And as soon as Play TV also gives access to live, I'm definitely gonna be live streaming over there. But I'm not talking about that today. Today's stream was supposed to be me responding to your questions and answers regarding the Brax 3 phone. I do not have any confirmation as of yet with respects to whether anyone will join me, but if trajectory holds, I'll probably get that device in the next few weeks. So I'm really excited about that, actually. I want to try it out on Linux before Android, but we'll see. IODE OS or Linux. I'm not going to be talking about the Brax 3 phone. I got to talk about this whole YouTube thing that's been going on that's been upsetting me. For those of you over on YouTube, you would know this because I've been posting over to the community about this, and those of you on Instagram, obviously, because I talk about it quite often, and I'm quite frankly fed up with it. So I didn't get a chance to blurt out some of the some sensitive information, but I will be pulling up my license for my theme song. So currently I'm in dispute with the content ID holder of my theme song, and with whatever's going on, they've also happened to be throttling my channel, which is nothing new. It's just that after the way the year kicked off, it did come as a surprise for me. That's like, dude, I got an influx of new followers, and somehow way more interactions in the first week, and then it completely plummets. Then I'm having these content ID issues and things like that. I've never been afraid of showing you my analytics. Okay, I've talked about this quite frankly. Just I almost feels that nausea just to show you the trajectory of how ridiculous things are. And I really highlighted it last year when I became a Rumble partner, because it really showed a contrast there of how Rumble was actually caring about helping small creators and giving them the tools to excel. If you're going to be a new content creator trying to start on YouTube right now, it's just so difficult. In fact, I did tune into Tim Pool, who just got a Rumble partnership to bring some of his exclusive shows over there. He was with Louder Crowder for the Rumble Premium section, and they were talking about just how much of a difference it has been for him. And just after one, I guess, stream, but the difference being, and I like what he said. He said, and I'm not a Tim Pool fan, by the way, but I love what he said when it comes to you want to be a new content creator. YouTube is not the home for you, and that's why there's so many small content creators and video game streamers that are interested in being on the platform on Rumble and trying to make it grow. It's been a little controversial out the gate with respects to what the Rumble Creator Program is trying to be this time around. I did address a little bit the last time, and I can tell you within 24 hours, I said, okay, this is not for me this time, because I cannot do 30 hours of streaming. That's not what I do. I film, I cut, and I publish tech videos of real estate analysis, business, and news and all that. If it was just fire up the camera and talk to everybody and be interesting enough for you to keep coming back, then great, but that's not really the case. I like taking time to do this, to be able to respond to your comments, questions, and it'll be primarily YouTube. And you'll see why this affects me, because I'm not making money from YouTube. And I wish I was getting more out of Rumble, but right now the way they're kind of par for the course, because I don't have sponsorships. The ad revenue is pennies on the dollar. So the only way I do and I can make ends meet is with your support of any of my affiliates. So for anybody that's interested, you heard me talk about coffee, you heard me talk about the natural skincare, whether it's vegan soaps from Vibey soap or it's the goat milk products from the goat farm. That's why I have a section on my shelves, because the goat farm and Ranger Candy were my first affiliates. It since then has grown, and now I'm also an affiliate with Gainful. So if you see it down here in the ticker, I actually had this on purpose here because I got my latest package from Gainful. For those of you that are into health, fitness, and things like that, you've probably heard of Gainful, especially if you're a Target shopper. So it's customized protein. They had like this really nice end cap at Target, so you can buy the container of protein, and then you can buy a container of add-ons. So it could be flavors. They call it flavor boosts. You could have gotten, I think at the store, you could have gotten strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate. So those were at least 3. There's more flavors, but then you could also mix in additions such as creatine, and such as it was like a gut health one. I bought it, never actually used that one, but I also used the recovery. So that's like more amino acids after a workout. So you can kind of treat it as a pre-workout or a post-workout, meal replacement, things like that. It's all custom to you. So if you actually shop online, you get the whole thing, and they actually give you a different size, because if you go to Target, you'll get less servings, and you'll also get the serving size 20 grams of protein, whereas if you order from online, you get the scoop that comes in a 24-gram serving, and it's actually a bigger bag, and it doesn't come in those plastic those cardboard containers. And you'll see right now, this isn't the welcome package, this is my refill. Depending on who you are, I've heard some people say that when they get their package, or at least their replacement order, it takes forever for it to get there. I don't know, to each their own, I suppose, because I never had my package take more than just a handful of business days. So within a business week, I receive my Gainful replacement. So you can actually have your things scheduled how you want. In my case, I have 2 every 6 weeks. So these are the bags that they come in. This one comes with 14 servings per container, and the 1 scoop is giving you, where does it say, 24 grams of protein, as it says back here, whereas the one you get at Target is about the same serving amounts per container, but 20 grams per protein scoop. So if you want more, then without the guesswork, you can get this. When it comes to flavor packets, though, I think I only got, I got a few. So there's the chocolate that came in here, strawberry cream, and I'm gonna open these up for you to see. My favorite, cookies and cream, and sea salt caramel. So when you get these, they actually already come individually. So you do it per serving, as opposed to the ones that you get at Target where you customize the entire container. So you don't have to do that with this. You can just do it on the whim, so you don't have to get tired of one flavor mixed in with your pre-workout or whatever. You can actually, what I do is I keep the containers from Target and I just throw in this bag, and I just add the boost that I want, whether it's recovery, whether it's pre-workout and things like that, but I add the flavor boost separately per individual pack because it just makes more sense that way. It's like, why do I have to make the whole thing one flavor? If I get tired of it, then I get tired of it. I have to wait until the other container to have a different flavor. So this way, you don't have to do that. And if you go to Gameful.com and use my code Segovia, you get 30% off your order. So hey, you save money, you get your protein shop, and you help keep the lights on for the show. Now, there is one more thing I had here that I'll show you. Hold on, I was going to put the box back up. I'm like, why? I took it out. Might as well just have this up here. So this is the other thing. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a big fan of performance greens, but this is the one that I keep coming back to whenever I do have them. I think I had Isogenics. I don't recall. But this one, Focus, Gut Health, and Immunity. This one's Tropical Pineapple. I believe you can get this flavor at Target, but there are 2 flavors you can actually get on Gameful.com, so you get even more options with that. You could even add it to your custom order. These are not cheap. So these come in packets like this. And believe me, when you're having super greens, odds are you might gag. I still do, but at least this is a little more agreeable than other ones that I've tried. So, okay, just leaving that up there. Alrighty, so that's it for there. Gameful.com, custom protein, customized to your needs. And by the way, when you hit my link, this is what it would look like. So let me share a link with y'all, because why not? We're gonna be going over a lot of things here together. Oh, one more thing that you get when you do this is you end up. Hold on, it's supposed to be like this. There we go. All right, one more thing that you get when you actually buy from Gameful.com, you actually get a nutritionist and or dietitian assigned to you. You actually need to take a survey before they can even send this to you. So just giving you an FYI that you get a lot more than you would if you just shop at Target. So let me go solo again for a bit. All right. Okay. I get asked often, how much money do I make on podcasting? And I said, I don't. And even Tim Pool mentioned this, again, going back to Tim Pool, on his on his conversation with Steven Crowder yesterday as I go live. So he just found like, okay, technically you get more viewers on YouTube, but you get more freedom, and you're actually not having to worry about being demonetized while you're on Rumble. And he was talking about how Spotify approached them, but the downloads on Spotify were considerably lower than anything that he was getting out of YouTube and Rumble. So it just didn't make any sense to go on that way. There's some people that it almost feels like back then it used to be everybody had a blog. Now it's like everybody used to have a podcast. It's it's a little annoying. It's like, okay, look, you're an interesting person, but that doesn't mean you need to have a podcast. That goes the same for me. But I've been doing this since the inception of podcasting, so I had a leg in since then. That doesn't mean you can't break in. It's just that if you're going to do so, be you, be different. Don't emulate somebody else. Use them as inspiration for sure, but don't be them. Be you. When I started my show as the Andre Segovia Show, because before that I was just doing pure tech, I did so, and people were telling me keep it professional. Don't be too you. And I tried dressing up and things like that. That's why you see my logo. My logo is well, I am dressed up, or like a kind of business casual. And I'm like, I want to change the logo, but at the same time, like I like the original logo because that is who I am. I prefer to dress up, but I'm like, I'm not always needing to be like that to do this though, because then that gets a little annoying for a lot more prep work just to do this show. But the ones that were telling me that I gotta be more pro, we're not even tuning into my own show. So like, wait. So the ones that were tuning in, that were giving me feedback, like they were enjoying me being more loose, being me. So like, okay, let me inject my personality, and that translated over to my interviews. You go all the way to the beginning of my interviews when I started doing the Andrew Segovia Show, which was basically business, and then started morphing to whoever I wanted, whenever I wanted them on the show. It just felt more comfortable, and I really feel like I hit stride in the past couple of years, which make for a lot more interesting conversation, great connections with people, some that I'm friends with now. We communicate on the daily. That's really awesome, because it's not more like, okay, who you are, what you are, and here are the pre-selected questions on the script to go off of. It's really annoying, and I really hate that. That's why anybody that's interested in just me being relaxed and a little sharing more, be more personal, I recommend you go check out my interview with Tonto. We've been in contact for a long time before that. We communicated through DMs and all that, but this was the first time we actually spoken to one another, and it was like two buddies catching up, and I love that. And here's the thing: generally speaking, when I talk to a high caliber guest like that has a massive following and a real big public figure, you would expect that I would get more views out of those things. But because we talked about controversial things, we said some things that were not YouTube friendly. Even though I posted it to YouTube, it didn't flow in the algorithm. But if you go to X, you go to Rumble, you go to Play TV, I get the thousands of views. I put up a clip on YouTube, and it was a clip from my long-term review from the unplugged phone self-destruct. So the self-destruct feature is in my long-term review. It's towards the end. If you watch it, it's not just me talking to the camera from my desk. It's just That's just the way I edited it. So at the end of it, I did the full test, just the whole timing. This is how it works, and I took that clip like I always intended to put it somewhere else across the socials and other video platforms, to drive traffic to the long-term review. So the long-term review is technically my most watched tech video so far this year. Thank you very much, and especially for those of you on YouTube. But my most watched clip is the self-destruct, but not on YouTube. If you go to YouTube, that thing, I thought I had it open. Let me pull it up. So on YouTube, the clip that I recently posted on this has about, I should make this full screen for myself. You can't see this yet. This one I'm not going to share with y'all just yet. Okay. 84 views. 84 views. Okay. So I'm going to open that very same clip over on X so you can see what I'm talking about. And this is considering that people have been sharing my YouTube link. Okay. Now, that clip, I think I just recently posted it to Rumble, so that's not going to count. But I did pin it to my X account. So this one I will share with you all. Oh, man. Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. So share this tab instead. And let me bring it up. All right, so now you don't have to just keep looking. Why does it keep doing that? It's like this. StreamYard, what's going on? Okay. And welcome to all of you tuning in from Rumble, Locals, YouTube, Twitch, X, D Live, Gangjin World. Hello, everyone. How do I say it in Mandarin? 'Cause I know a lot of people speak Mandarin there. This is me trying to patronize, by the way. Guangong, I think I said it right. Welcome. I don't even know if that's appropriate to say. I'm saying welcome. But anyway, my wife's Taiwanese, if anybody asking or wondering. All right, so this same clip that I said had 84 views on YouTube, over on X has 53.9 thousand views. This thing's been shared and reshared by others, including, wow, I can't even spell long-term review. So anyway, this one actually is, it was reshared by Unplugged, and it was reshared by Eric Prince himself. As you can see right here, relevant people, Mr. Prince shared it. We talked about it too. I'm glad he enjoyed the video. I gave some active feedback to Iran Karpin, the CTO at Unplugged as well. I actually did report what I noticed as a bug. I don't know if it was just me, or there was a switch that I missed. So I did report that. It's in my long stream. I actually clipped that out and uploaded separately, my walkthrough of the beta firmware, so you can go check that out. But anyway, so this, and here's the frustrating part. Almost 54,000 impressions on X for that clip. And I can't get a penny from it because X favors large creators. So the same complaint I have about YouTube, the same complaint I have about X. I applied for the creator status when I qualified months ago. And then when I checked to see what's going on, because it says pending, 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 and I saw that other accounts that are bigger than mine, way bigger than mine, they've been in limbo for like a year. Then I'm shocked to find out that they changed recently the requirements to qualify for creator status. So now I no longer qualified. So I have to work back at it. It's like, seriously? But every now and then, Doge designers like, oh, look, content creators on X are doing this. You know what happens on X if you share video links that are not of X? They don't even get anywhere. They quite literally suppress those things. And that's what's annoying. YouTube does the same thing. So whenever I post anything about Rumble, YouTube throttles it. So in the case of X, they do the same. So if I'm getting all these impressions, my number one clip of this year is, and I'm not sharing this part just yet, but it's the clip that I started off of the year. I didn't even try to time it that way. It just worked. I hate that it worked out that way. It's just so awful. 53,573 views on my clip from my Sarah Adams and Dave Boone Benton segment where they were warning about things that were going to happen. And because Sarah Adams was on the Sean Ryan show after my show, he and Sean ended up parroting what she said on his program and my program on Joe Rogan's podcast. So I put that clip there. But in my show, I talk about, because I like using pop culture as a way to, reference or at least make relevant and for people to relate to a point that I'm trying to make. And in 2006, the show 24, it's some people said that's the season that 24 jumped the shark. But then you look back on it, it's like, holy smokes, that thing was way ahead of its time. I mean, the entire show was. But the thing is, that season, that's basically what's being warned that we're going to kind of be living through right now. And in some cases, Europe is living it. As I record this, and this is not going to be another ding on me for the YouTube, they're already going to demonetize this stream. I haven't received the copyright notification yet, but because I had my theme song that I'm in contention with, which I'm going to show you here in a moment, they're going to strike this because I'm going to reference the terror attack by the Afghan asylum seeker in Munich, Germany, just a few hours ago that plowed through another set of people. So far, last I checked, there weren't any fatalities, but there were at least 24 injured, including children. It's like we just saw what happened in New Orleans, okay? But these kind of things, that information, none of those videos were breaking among anything on YouTube, despite the fact that I had high profile, high caliber guests that are nationally recognized and appear on podcasts that have way more followings than I do. I'm talking about at least 1 million subscribers each. So how is it that podcasts like mine, those videos, those interviews don't break, but the ones that do would tend to be like tech and some local news things, and that's perfectly fine. Okay, it's just that the interview series, which is why I've been kind of offloading it over to Play TV, and I want to show you the big difference when you have no algorithm and people actually looking for the show appears like. Let me find my channel because I'm not signed in on this one. Uh, the Andre Segovia show. Then I'm going to show you my show. Oh, there's one of my videos. Cool. Alrighty. And look, if I didn't have any interactions on these videos, I wouldn't be talking, okay? But I do get interactions. I do get people liking. I do get people sharing. It's not just like someone saw like 1 second and then moved on. I am not talking about that. So I'm going to be sharing this tab instead. This is Play TV to give you all an example. And I was just dropping my interview series here, okay? So all this, as you can see, are just my interviews. But I asked people on Parlor, like, hey, give me some feedback. Should I also be posting non-interview stuff, so like my business stuff, my conversations, my tech videos? So they said, just bring your entire show over here if you can, because you have to manually upload them. So I did that. And over here, you could see that just a few hours ago, I dropped a long-term review of the Unplugged phone because, all right, fine, I'll bring it. And in 18 hours, I got 1,000 views on that, which is almost matching what I'm getting on YouTube. YouTube, that long-term review, which you guys are the ones that matter the most because this is where the conversation happens. Thank you that it has perfect likes and no dislikes, the long-term review. So I appreciate that. It's at least at 1,785 right now views on YouTube. So I'm still there. I'm posting because where you guys are. I'm not intending to just leave and go to an island and isolate myself from everybody else. I'm on as many places as possible. But being on as many platforms as I can not only makes me uncancelable, but allows me to be me, and that's what I like. So my recent interview that I dropped this week is my guest Bradley Pauliska. So that has 1.2 thousand views on Play TV. On YouTube, it has 21. But if you go find comparable interviews with this guest that's very rarely interviewed, by the way, it's a considerable larger number of views. So on X, it has been a different story. So let me pull that one up because is it on my highlights? I don't think it's on my highlights. Let me check. And WavyNet, all those you on X, because I'm on X right now. So I am using Rumble Studio to stream, to host, but I'm using StreamYard as an ingress to pass through, which is pretty cool because you can do that. So let me pull up the Bradley Pauliska interview. Dude, I didn't know I tweeted that much. I'll just go to Bradley's his X account because he has it there. Okay, so let me share this tab. Let's find out in real time how many views are on X. So on X, I got 712 views. So yay. Wait, what? Star Wars Luke Skywalker, the debate over his sexuality. Oh my goodness, dude. Look, Disney Star Wars isn't Star Wars, okay? It's not. And depending on who you ask, there's either 3 Star Wars films or 6, because everybody says the holiday special never happened. So, no, Apple announces iPhone SE4, whatever. So 712 on X, over 1,000 on Play TV. And like, all right, cool. But 21 on YouTube? So now I get to share some of the analytics from YouTube. Okay. Because this is what's important, but I need to be careful and sensitive with what I'm going to be sharing here. Because I can't block anything out. So let me read off to some of you. Just in the past 28 days, I got another 77 followers, and I just cracked 3,700 followers. So thank you very much for all of you that have joined the show. But even if it was just 10% of you checking out my stuff, I will get an average of 37 views. I want to highlight this particular one. I'm going to highlight this part where you guys can see. So now I'm going to be sharing analytics from YouTube. So for those of you that are interested in being YouTube influencers, because my daughter told me, Daddy, I want to make a YouTube channel. I'm like, well, Mija, I know what you like to do. It's just it's not automatic. So I actually worked something out with her about when I may allow that. But I can tell you that I'm not intending it to be on YouTube. But it's true that a lot of the youth think that this is automatic because of Mr. Beast and things like that. There's a lot of work involved. I've been, what, 8, 9 years on YouTube at least? Yeah, I think this year's gonna be my 10th year on YouTube. And I started off talking tech, and then it morphed by bringing in the other stuff that I do for business, and then eventually my interviews. So I want to highlight here um, the copyright issues. So I purposely left out my theme song from my recent 3 uploads. If you guys see the square like this thumbnail, that's the podcast. So you can actually upload podcasts to YouTube Studio or through YouTube Studio. So this goes to YouTube Music. I like that. This, in a way, is the merging of Google Podcast Manager, but I preferred Google Podcast Manager because it was dedicated to that. YouTube is trying to be both Spotify and a video share platform, okay? And it's not very good at either, because the whole YouTube Music thing and the way it's implemented, it gets really muddled and annoying. And a lot of those cases, if you upload music, I don't know how those channels can even be allowed to play all that music. For example, anime music is some of the most restricted music when it comes to sharing, but there are a lot of channels that actually have that. I don't understand how that works, but if I do it, holy smokes, either a copyright strike, not just claim, a claim is different from a strike, a copyright strike, and you can lose your channel when you get 3. So like, dude, I try to avoid it as much as possible. So with my videos, the most recent one I dropped, I think it was in the past 24 hours, 27 views. Look how quickly that arose versus this other one down here. I want to highlight this one. I even relabeled it recently just in case the title is what turned people off to it, because it's Pickaxe Social promises freedom of speech and freedom of reach. That's a response to what X is doing. Okay, that's what CEO Jeff Dornick. By the way, I'm on Pickaxe. Pickaxe is kind of like Substack, and they're in pre-launch phase. They're gonna eventually launch. I like what you're doing there. And I think people should be checking it out because it's really for content creators, journalists, and reporters and things like that. Those are the people you'll find there. So that's why I asked them, is it the LinkedIn of those that are doing, like citizen journalists, actual reporters that work for newspapers and things like that? So far right now, it seems to be those are the creators that are there. Yours truly is among them. And my articles that I've written for my website are getting new life over on Pickaxe. So thank you for Pickaxe and for promoting my channel. So shout out to them. But I had the CEO on my show. And right there, this was published on January 31st. It has 12 views. I want to tell you this because it's been about 2 weeks. This actually crossed 10 views within the first 24 hours. And for some reason, YouTube removed views and removed likes. I saw it happen in real time. I don't know why. And since then, that's kind of been stifled. There were people that did tune in, and this link was shared. So I told, screw that. I'm sharing the Rumble link. So the Rumble is about 600 views for that one. On Play TV, that one's got the more most views and interactions at 2.4, over 2,400 views. So there is some level of interest, comparatively speaking. But when you have an algorithm that's free for all, like Play TV, because there's nothing throttling you, it's just you post it, someone sees it, they share it, okay. But then in the case of YouTube, if you cannot get into the almighty algorithm, then you get nothing. And in the case of Rumble, it's, well, if your followers are actually checking it out. In my case, my followers were checking it out. I got more views than I have followers there. And also, thank you, Mud Club, because they actually checked it out. Mud Club is Loudware Crowder's Mud Club. So I shared it there. So they're the ones that were watching. Okay, and now let's continue on with what I wanted to show. I'm pulling up my license. I just need to make sure it doesn't have any personal information on it. And it does. Great. All right, let me see if I could block it out from here. All right, it's going to be a little tricky because I want to share it with you all. Let me see, right about there. I'm going to have to read it to you guys. All right, so right here is when I noticed it. The first copyright claim I had against my channel was through the podcast that I posted on January 28, Rebuilding Los Angeles and Attacks on Homeowners. So there is a video version of this, but the question is, why did this one get a copyright claim versus the other one? When you see it right here, I'll be ineligible. This video cannot be monetized, so it's ineligible, and I got a copyright because for the podcast, I repurposed the audio. Actually, there's no video version for this one. That's right. So this one was the audio only episode, and for that one, I usually make the theme song a little longer because I usually do an intro, then play the music, and then get into the episode. So the audio experience is a little different than what I just repackaging the video version. Okay, so this one. This one got a copyright claim, and it says copyright protected content found. The owner allows the content to be used, but you can't monetize your video. So I'm like, what? So I went to see details of what's going on. It says my channel's not affected. The visibility is public, and then I'm ineligible to receive any funds. So they ask, do you want to silence this section? It's from 8 seconds, from 1 minute 8 seconds to 1 minute 51 seconds. Then you can select an action, and that's either dispute it, erase the song, replace the song, or trim out segment. I didn't do anything for this one. Like, all right, whatever. I can live with it because it's a podcast, so I went to everywhere else. I'm not relying on YouTube for that purpose. But then it happened again. It happened again on February 4th. Once again, this is to a podcast. This podcast I post every single year for the past 4 years. It wasn't an issue then. It's an issue now. So like, okay, what's the difference? Because all I did was literally re-upload that same podcast. Nothing changed. So this one, like, I got hit again. So let me go to the live stream that I did last week when I did the Unplugged round 10. So this was the following up on my long-term Unplugged, 81 views, 7 likes, thank you, ineligible, and then see details. So I'm like, all right, something is definitely happening here, and I disputed him. Let me see which one I disputed. So let me go to copyright, remove request, messages. I had to message somebody that stole one of my videos. They took my entire video. So of course I had to challenge them. Okay. And same thing here. Someone was copyright claiming my video, my original video of a reaction. I was doing a reaction video on a documentary. And this other person did it in Spanish, but because we're both doing this in documentary, they were claiming I stole their video. It's like, what? First off, I produced mine first. But I don't know how they got to claim a copyright on me as opposed to me claiming a copyright on them. And besides, they did it in Spanish. So, and you know the craziest part yet? This was not the documentary holder. This was just some other channel. This is why the channel copyright thing is so broken. I ended up using the audio as a test. And real quick, I showed the symbol, which was the Batman soundtrack, and I played about 25 seconds worth of it. And I was showing on the phone that I was playing that song. But then you had a band that ripped that music from Danny Elfman's Batman score from 1989, a Tim Burton's film, They included it as an intro to their song at some concert, and they hit me with a copyright claim. I'm like, what? So I tried disputing that, and they said, do you have evidence that you have proof? Well, you have proof that you can use this. Like, and then like, well, I have fair use. You can't use the fair use clause here. Like, well, how am I supposed to show you? Because technically, this is Warner Brothers music, not that band. And if you really want to get really nitty picky with this is actually the song called "Dawn" or "Morning" by Bernard Herrmann from I think it was "Journey to the Center of the Earth" or to the Island of Mr. Mordecai. So Danny Elfman ripped it off from somebody else. But anyway, that's semantics. The point is, it belonged to Warner Brothers. They were not the ones issuing me a claim. It was some band that was issuing me a claim. So, which one did I dispute? Because it's not showing me here which one I disputed. Because they hit me again, and so far I have 3. And ever since then, my interactions and views have plummeted. When I see obvious throttling after the way the year started with over 50,000 people checking my stuff out, subscribing. I got so many new followers. Thank you very much. It's just within that little time frame, and now I'm getting hit with copyrights. This is what I sent them. I can't show you because even though I even though I try to kind of block it off, it tried to show you some sensitive information. So I'm not going to share this with you, but I'm going to read it to you. I bought the license from Premium Beat. They're a Shutterstock company. So this is not from the YouTube library. And I issued this to YouTube, where I sent it because Premium Beats, their content ID was calling this one out. The song is called Jacked. Yes, I paid for a license to use this. And nowhere in the license, the song is called Jacked by Eternity Bro, and it's a standard license. And in the licensing terms, there's nowhere where it says that it's like time sensitive. So in other words, if I bought it in August 2019, if it was a 5-year license, it would have expired August of last year, but it didn't become a problem until 2 weeks ago. So who does a 5.5 year term? No. So I didn't see anything, and I read it over and over again before I disputed it. So I'm going to dispute these other copyright claims against me because I can't find the one that I disputed. Maybe I won. I don't know. I didn't get an email, anything of the sort. And the license that I got for this is 2299396 from Premium Beat. And I gave him the order number and my purchase date. So it's like, this is the proof. So I told him, you want me to upload the entire license and the receipt of the purchase? Then tell me. I have both the invoice and the license. So I can send it to you. Tell me where I'm wrong here. I even read the usage terms because, of course, you get a licensing thing, but there's some limitations about what you can and cannot do. So this was said from the very onset that this was going to be the theme song for my podcast, to which they approved. And that is on the web, where it says, allows you to use the recording in an unlimited number of projects in the following ways. Part number 4. This is on the web, including commercially distributed projects, including but not limited to podcasts. Web advertising, including as part of a pre-roll, advertising and in podcasts, websites and social media. And they even said you can use it in online streaming, YouTube, Vimeo, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. What did I do wrong? See, that's what makes it so aggressive with YouTube, because the onus is on you. There is no innocent to proven guilty thing here. You're presumed guilty until you're proven innocent. And to do that, they say, well, you're not affected. And in some cases, they don't even let you dispute it. And they say, no, you just don't dispute here. You can't use fair use as the argument. And here's the worst part. You can't get the funds for it, but they do. You know what would have been nice? If that clip that I got at the beginning of the year that got me over 50,000 views, if I had monetized it. It wasn't monetized. Because YouTube says I cannot monetize things that talk about sensitive subjects, such as, in this case, terror attacks. So I'm like, well, I don't want to monetize something like that. That wasn't the intention either. The intention was to get the information out there. People found it. People were sharing it. People were talking. That's my #1 video of the year. It even outpaced my biggest unplugged video of the year last year. So there was a lot of interest in this clip. But I couldn't monetize it. But you know who made money off that video? YouTube. Even though I didn't turn on ads on it. I didn't monetize it for myself, but YouTube can. But if I turned it on, then I would be hit with other restrictions because, well, we're gonna have to maybe make it mature because of the sensitive content you're talking about. It's like, and you know how you can embed YouTube videos in like in websites and stuff. Sometimes because of the age restrictions, you won't be able to stream it from anywhere else. You have to go to YouTube to open it and view it because they have to confirm your age. That's why it's stupid. That's why I love Rumble. And I talked about it before in my Rumble streams. Rumble censored me January 2021. I was tracking big, like for what comparatively speaking, according to YouTube. And then the first month of January with all the throttling, because I was talking about a very sensitive subject at the time, which was January 6th. Then after that, flatline for the next 2 years. But I kept uploading to Rumble, hopefully that it was going to wake up sometime, hopefully by some miracle. And then the creator program comes along last year, gives new life to my channel. I'm getting the views, thousands even, and a lot of interactions there. So thank you very much, Rumble, for that. And I don't have to be on the banners on the homepage to be promoted for people to check out my stuff. They are checking it out. So these are returning real followers, not bots, like in some cases these big tech oligarchs have, for example, YouTube, Instagram, and Meta. But this is an example of what I mean about the draconian measures that go into trying to create any form of content. It's ridiculous. And it makes it for a very difficult thing to do, which is why I said at the beginning of the stream, I do not have any sponsors because of this. First off, they might not like that I'm even having issues like that. They're going to want to see, like, no, you need to have more, way more views, way more interactions. That means you got to play by the community guidelines. Like, well, I don't want to. That's why I have I'm banned from all the Linktree. Actually, they emailed me just over a month ago, I think, saying that, hey, we unbanned your account. I'm like, well, go pound sand. You had me banned for like a couple of years. Why am I going to come crawling back so you could do it again? Screw you. So I use Buffer, and this gives me a page. So what I decided to do is keep my relevant links up here, such as, well, go to my Amazon storefront. I have Arm Raw, Colostrum, links, Bubs Naturals. They're my affiliate too. Go check out Bubs Naturals. Man, they did wonders for my knees. So check that out. There's Gameful. I just talked about that at the beginning, and it's over my shoulder here. Goat Farm, Ranger Candy. Join Rumble. Hit my link. And at least Rumble will know that I sent you there. Samsung Shop. Yes, I actually have a link there. And for those of you that have used it, thank you so very much. A lot of you have. Secret Labs are the gaming chairs and the desks that I use. That's, man, they're no pun intended, but they're game changers. I love them, and I can't use anything else ever since I went that route. StreamYard is what I use in conjunction with Rumble Studio as of right now. Vibey and Wild Pastures, a meat delivery service company, pasture raised, pasture grass fed, and all that stuff. So go check that stuff out. These are links that you can use. This is one of my favorite streams that I did, the 13 hours Secret Service of Benghazi, the fact check and reactions. This I did with one of the heroes that was there that night, and including the CIA targeter that was stationed there in Benghazi and left that very morning, only to find out what happened later and went back to investigate, and she's been reporting on it ever since. That's Sarah Adams. So listen on Good Pods for the podcast. Check out Play TV, Rumble, YouTube, and a bunch of other of my social media links down here. This is all through Buffer. You like a page like this, like a summary links page, you could definitely check it out from there. But I can tell you that I'm no longer banned on Linktree, but I'm not going back to Linktree. Actually banned from other few platforms too. The only ban that I've actually disputed that, two of them actually, I disputed Tumblr, and it took them a month, but they gave me back my account. And Meta, they suspended me when I recreated it in Facebook. They suspended me within 15 minutes. What? What I do? I'm just setting up my account. But they banned me. I disputed it. 48 hours later, they gave me my page and all that. And like, you know what? Joke's on you. I'm leaving. So I deleted everything. They're like, screw you. So I'm not welcomed here. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm to wrap it up because it's lunchtime and I don't know what I'm going to eat for lunch. What time is it? Oh, snap. It is noon. Crap. And for those of you watching in Gangjin World, thank you very much. I'm getting a bunch of notifications from Gangjin World right now. So as soon as I'm able to just communicate with you directly, either to StreamYard or Rumble Studio, so I can see any comments and things that are coming through. I can't see them, but I think that'd be pretty cool for me to be able to interact with a lot of you. A lot of you have been chiming in on my recent live there, so thank you very much. It makes it encouraging to see that there's other places that I am being welcomed and embraced. But I am going to be reading some of the comments from the community over on YouTube. Uh, I won't be reading the ones from the unplugged phone. I'll be skipping that and anything regarding the Brax 3 phone. So I'm going to be skipping all the way back to my video with that I posted on January 1st of this year, which was oh my goodness, which was the Sarah Adams Day Boom Benton clip. So I'm almost there. There are a lot of you that really chimed into this. I am not going to rebuttal those of you. I know there's a lot of you that expressed yourselves. I might not even be able to read most of these because some of you went above and beyond. And I don't censor you, by the way. That's all YouTube. So I don't know if they're held until I see it. So I haven't taken down any comments. I never ever have. So if you think that I've taken down your comments, I'm telling you right now, I never have. That was all YouTube. Okay. I think this one is it. Wow, this is a threaded one. You guys really went at it with this one. Oh, yeah. So I'm already demonetized on YouTube, so I don't care. This one's gonna be a very interesting one. All right. So for you guys just tuning in, especially on YouTube, I'm gonna start just responding to comments that are not related to anything tech. This was with respects to two videos. One of them is my Sarah Adams Day Boom Benton clip at the beginning of the year, and then my response to my coverage of the LA fires. So there's some stuff that was said there by some individuals that I said I wanted to respond to in on video because it wasn't just going to be a comment, and I needed to give context to it. And I'll get to it when I get to it. So here, let's start out with this one. This one's going to be, man, this is going to be a hard one to get through. But all right, so the user's it's a period or a dot. If there is a terror threat against America after Israel is making genocide of indigenous Arabs everywhere, then it can be said with certainty that the threat to the West is coming from Jews seeking to rule the world, not Muslims. Muslims are just stuntmen for the Jews. These threats are led by Israel's IDF, not any Muslim freedom fighter group who fought and died in vain in attempts to get their land, to get back their land, their dignity, and their freedom from Israel. The lost fight of Arab freedom fighters is a fight that non-Jewish born U.S. citizens are going to have as a fight of their own. Pro-Israel Capitol Hill is going to import these. And well, that's a very long comment. These pro-Israel IDF intelligence-led duplicate Islamic jihadists, my goodness, to act as mercenaries against non-Jewish born. This is a very long comment. I'll keep reading. U.S. citizens for the growth and expansion of Jewish, Orthodox, and Hasidic communities all over North America. Anyone posting video, spit, pointing the blame to anything else other than Jews is Jewish lies and misinformation, and the proof is in the pudding. Is that the homes, communities of politicians who are rich and Orthodox Jewish communities that are ethnocentric will be immune from any real serious threat against them from actually being uprooted. Okay, so that's a very heavy comment there to start all this off with, and I have major disagreements with what's being said here, but I still welcome that you got a chance to look at my video, and you actually did cause a threat. Apparently, looks like someone here is saying that you're copying and pasting this in other places. Some people are saying inaccurate. This is a thread, though. That's probably the most controversial comment that was posted to this video. You can go check it there. I could spend hours just addressing this because I strongly disagree about that, and I said I'm not going to push back on it, so I'm just gonna continue on through. All right, so back to that video. Living ED Ventures writes, her on the Sean Ryan show a few weeks ago immediately popped in my head when I heard about the New Orleans this morning when I saw it on the news. And I responded to that when I said she and Sean were doing an X space a moment ago. I'll share it on my account. And let's see, 123. I don't know what they were responding to. Did you miss the attempted bombing of the Israeli embassy in New York on Christmas Eve? That guy was confirmed ISIS. They even know who trained him. And then someone responded, "Yeah, I heard that's one failed freak in NYC, one failed freak in Vegas, and that one in New Orleans. He was the only one successful, but still he's dead. And now all the radicals after 1-1 are in torment." Okay. Nothing's for me to say here. And this one, see, this video caused a lot of controversy because of the subject matter. So that's why I said I'm not going to push back. I even mentioned it in one of my previous videos because, like, did you ever think about payback? What about the children who have seen destructions of the countries? Do you think they will all love Americans? No, but they'll take our money. They'll definitely take our money. So I said I wasn't going to respond, but that always irks me. It's like, well, they love Americans. Yeah, you'll take our money, you'll take our culture and all that stuff, but then hate the ones that made it. So it's like, and people calling for, like, all right, look, I'm going to say this publicly because this is the kind of crap that annoys me. Someone said they can have our CEOs. I said I wasn't going to push back, but I got to address something. There is a big tech channel here on YouTube, one of the more popular, one of the most popular ones. And this guy proves that smart people can be really stupid because the guy's a socialist, communist. Okay. The guy could not be able to do any of his philanthropy if he was doing all this in a communist country. In fact, he wouldn't even have a YouTube channel if he was in a communist country to be able to do what he did. Okay. But this dude that destroys phones for a living, and he gets all his phones for free, at least that's how I assumed it, goes on X and says all these different things and is literally calling for the attacking of those that he doesn't like. It's disgusting, similar to what this post is. But those aren't flagged. But this stream on YouTube is going to be throttled and demonetized. Demonetized first because I played the theme song at the beginning. And it's going to be throttled because of the sensitive topic of this, because I'm reading your comments. And that's why I'm on Rumble. I don't have to worry about that on Rumble and everywhere else. I don't know if Ganji World is going to be the same. But just so you know, this is the fact. And it might even be censored on Twitch. But it's just ridiculous that this kind of crap happens. And look, since this is a very sensitive one, you guys can go check out stuff. I said I'm not going to respond to them, but that one did cause a reaction on me. I'm not responding to the person here, but there is these sentiments of people expressing themselves that it's like, whatever. But this is more along the lines of that. This is a BS. That what Sarah and Boone were reporting, that it's all BS. And I've seen people come out and attack Sarah in the past month, and it's absolutely disgusting. She's done more for this country than most of you probably ever put together can do, and she's stuck her neck out. And none of you have any idea of her being attacked by her own government for what she's doing. She ended up reporting intel directly to embassies instead of going to the Pentagon because the Pentagon wasn't reacting to it. This is why she ended up on the Sean Ryan show recently, because Sean saw the post and said, "We're going to bring you back." And I even said it to Sean, like, dude, just have her on every 3 months. Like, make it a quarterly thing. And he did make it a quarterly thing. I'm not saying he acted on my advice, but I think he saw it on Instagram because he checks out my stories every now and then. Doesn't follow me just yet. What gives, Sean? Anyway, so she was on to explain what happened. And it was the Pentagon responded to her. It's like, why did you share this intel directly with the embassies instead of going through the official channels? Just because you guys don't act on the intel. And they reprimanded her. The Pentagon reprimanded her, and then not once asked about the intel. You would think that's more important. And when they ask you, promise us you won't do it again, I'm still going to do it because I'm tired of losing friends. She lost so many friends. Anybody that's seen Zero Dark 30, that's the suicide bomber scene, a camp, I forget what, in Afghanistan, that was her friend. So I didn't think that in my wildest dreams of doing this that I'll have connections with individuals that are connected to major events like that. And that was the deadliest attack on CIA operators, agents in CIA history, if I'm not mistaken. And we're friends of hers. and she was tired of losing friends and the Pentagon not acting on important intelligence. So she sent a directive to the embassies because there were threats against the embassies. And now people are attacking her because she's talking about the stuff that she's been able to find. It's ridiculous. So that's my response to every single comment that's talking about this. So let me skip over to the LA fires because that's probably the more important thing that I need to address here. And that's how I'm going to wrap it up because I need to go eat. Uh, someone asked me, oh yeah. So I put this up. This is I had actor Nick Searcy on. He's probably best known for playing Art Mullen. He was the chief U.S. Marshal in Justified. So he was Raylan's boss. So I cut out a clip from it because I never imagined that I was going to be watching Justified and reacting to it, talking with Nick Searcy. So that's pretty cool. And I told him, look, I got to right a wrong here because the YouTube channel of FX did not include on their compilations of best one-liners from Justified, which is that's probably the whole show. They didn't include one Art Mullen clip. So I played it with him. And then later on in the interview, he says, oh, by the way, that thing about FX, they never liked me. So I'm not surprised they didn't include anything about me. He's like, dude, I didn't know that. Well, it should have been obvious now that I look back on it because he's been a very outspoken conservative. So like, well, that makes a lot of sense, but still, that sucks. So here, how is that even possible? This one's from Bonnie McCormick, 1361. How is it even possible? I freaking love Art. My daughter laughs because I love it when Art's wearing his shoulder holster. It's hot, but what can I say? And I responded, I recommend tuning into the full interview. He explains the riff with FX, so I didn't include the reason why there. Okay, so when I did the A Somber Start to a New Year video, someone weighed in here. Oh yeah, Laura Malvoyant, fellow YouTuber, Digital Minimalism. Go check her out. Excuse me. I feel the same way about social media being a necessity tool for promoting content. I like what you said. It's a platform problem, not a people. It's not a platform problem. It's a people problem. Yeah, exactly. And I did heart that. And Laura, hope you're well across the pond there in France. And let's see, this is from Bonnie McCormick, 1361. I am from Canada, and I mean no disrespect in regards to the events of January 6th, which happens to be my birthday, so I never forgot it happened. I was really just searching for funny stuff regarding Justified and Nick's character Art, who was my favorite. No offense against the others. Jacob Pitt's character was also underrated, I think. Thanks for your time, gentlemen. Peace. Oh, okay. Thank you. I didn't respond to this one, didn't I? I don't know what I am from Canada. I mean no disrespect in regards to the events of January 6th. Was there a comment? I didn't see any follow-up to that. Justin Derby, TTR13. Happy New Year. Looking forward to seeing what you can do with your content. Thanks a lot, buddy. I need to bring you back on the show. Okay. Which was this one? Oh, yeah. This is... oh, no, that's going to be for Brax 3. Someone giving hearts to my interview last year with NTD News China in Focus host Tiffany Meyer. Someone saying, stay safe. Thank you. Oh, yeah. When I delayed my review of the Unplugged phone because of the fires happening in Southern California. Thank you very much. Okay, this one, I already went through some of these, and some of them I'm saying something else. R14011 said safe, praying hands. Let's see, the LA fires. All right, so this is the main comment I wanted to react to. This is very important. So I posted up the audio version of the LA fires, the insurance crisis, and the rebuilding. I think this was the first one. I don't know if this was the first one that I got copyright claim on, but in this one, the commenter, I made the comment that people misunderstood what I was covering with respects to the major fires because I was on X and I follow these big accounts that cover news, very important, and I share news sometimes with them, and I really usually share their news because they're on it. I really love their coverage. That would be Roz Alerts, Breaking 911, and the like. As Intel, another one. Shout out to them. Really good stuff. So during the fires, man, these guys, thank you so very much. Shout out to all of you. Follow them on X if you're there, because these guys got out important information in a very timely manner, and I would say saved lives, because I was able to use some of that information, some of those tools, that I found out that I could utilize myself, and that's why I reached 21,000 people during the fires on my Instagram account alone, because I was covering this and just communicating with family, friends, coworkers, and the like, telling them, "Hey, look, this just happened. You might need to evacuate. Just be at the ready and stuff like that." So it was really great. So I did have a point of contention when I pushed back on some of the claims that were being made about who started the fires. And there was a suspected arsonist that was was captured by citizen arrests while the police arrived. And because he was minority, and because it was a recurring theme in the news, it was like, "Oh, what do you notice?" and things like that. That's not very productive really conversation. But the thing is that this was being used as a way to highlight that, "Oh, look, it's just another minority causing the arson to." And I told him, "Look, guys, I know it. We see it, but you guys are looking at it the wrong way, because arsonists in California come from all shapes and sizes and colors. It doesn't mean it's like a minority behaved." So I posted the information about the biggest fire last year. See, everybody was talking about, "Oh, it's direct energy weapons. Oh, it's climate change." Those on the right that were claiming it was direct energy weapons or was on purpose, and yes, it's arson and all this other stuff. It's like, where were you guys last year? Where were you guys last year for the biggest? All these fires that destroyed and ravaged Southern California, these were like over 100 wildfires. The biggest ones being the Palisades fire, the Eon fire, and the Hughes fire, in that order, and then the last one being the Border 2 fire. Massive fires, over 100 wildfires. Not one of these individuals were reporting on last year the biggest fire that destroyed even more buildings and caused more death, and that was the Park Fire, which I accidentally labeled the campfire. So some people misunderstood either way, because, "Oh, don't judge the guy because the campfire got out of control." It wasn't called a campfire because it had anything to do with the campfire. It was just the area. It was called camp, and it was a fire that was started by PG&E. This was 2018. That was the biggest fire, the most destructive fire we ever had, and was caused by a utility power line from failed maintenance that fell and caused the burst. The one from last year, the Park Fire, was ignited by this dude. His case was actually happening at the same time. He pushed a burning car into a ravine. And then that's what started the Park Fire. Tens of thousands of structures, like what was about 15,000 structures destroyed. And this was North California, by the way. I don't remember how many people were killed in that fire. And where was the right in talking about that? And that was a white dude that was suspected. So that's why I'm like, guys, look, don't you don't have to be running with this narrative when it's gonna backfire on you, because it's misinformation. And the guy, there was no evidence that he started any fire, even though he had a blowtorch. So they stopped him from preventing one for sure, because he was carrying a blowtorch. But he didn't cause the Kenneth fire. But he was still being held because of other parole violations. But eventually, I believe he was let loose sometime later. But that's just you got to get your facts right, and don't be like those other big accounts that just put some stupid stuff and say, "What do you notice? What do you see? What do you not see?" I'm like, you're not providing anything here. It's just low hanging fruit for clickbait. So because I talked about those things and I said arson, intentional or unintentional, user LC777 wrote, "Perhaps this could," because it caused a big ruckus, by the way. People were really upset at me on the right, attacking me. And then when I clarify that, because they missed the clarification, because you can't edit a comment, you can edit a post within an hour on X, but you can't edit a comment. So when I told, look, I did do a follow up, so I needed to follow up individually with some people that I thought was worthwhile, just because this big account was just like saying all this profanity against me. So then I took the comment, then I was posting it to those accounts like that didn't see that, and I put this in kind, and I know they apologize in their own way when they hit like and reposted my comment. So that was the way of saying, okay, we're wrong about that one. See, that's the thing. It's outrage stuff, and I'm sick of it. So anyway, LC777. Perhaps the confusion came from the actual definition of arson is completely different from yours, and it is well known as not accidental. Oxford Dictionary. Noun, the criminal act of deliberately setting fire to property. Police are threatening to fire are treating the fire as arson. Webster's Dictionary: the willful or malicious burning of property, such as a building, especially with criminal or fraudulent intent. Arson was determined to be the cause of the fire. Um, and it continues. Your definition is simply different than the law and dictionary's definitions. Therefore, it does not convey the same message to the readers and brought about a disagreement. Um, no, I agree with you. I don't have to agree with you. It's fact. Arson is intentional. That's what it means. You started a fire. The thing is, at the time of my recording, I mentioned that I think it's Ronnie Stout II was the guy that was arrested and brought up on charges for starting the park fire. His case was happening at the same time. And the defense was he didn't mean to cause a big fire. He didn't intend. Everybody was saying, you started the fire. Yeah, but I didn't mean to. So the defense was, that's why I said arson, intentional or unintentional. It's like, I actually started a fire that caused damage versus I started a fire. Look, it's arson. You started a fire and it was criminal. But the defense was, did he intend? And that was the defense. And because it's been a defense and he was not found guilty as of that post, I, speaking publicly, needed to address that. And because I was addressing it, I said intentional or not. Because otherwise, if he's found not guilty, for example, I can be claimed that I was defaming a person by saying that he intended to do that. So that's why I needed to clarify this, because I agree, that is definition, but that's not what brought about the disagreement. The disagreement was quite literally saying that, look, you guys are trying to blame minorities here, but none of you said anything about the white guy that started it. And because of that, that's what caused the ruckus. I'm like, look, you guys are trying to throw shade at one side. And I get it, because we've been seeing it on videos on social media, people being pushed into moving trains and things like that. It's like, dude, what the flip? And then it's like, oh, here we go again. Usual suspects. It's like, don't be a Latino. Don't be a Latino. That's how I feel whenever I see some news now. It's like, dude, seriously. So I get it. It was a recurring theme. But in this case, it wasn't. Even though some suspects were minorities. But guess what? That person didn't start a fire. You probably stopped them from starting one. But then, did you see all the other videos of the encampment fires and stuff like that happening at the same time? I didn't see any of you posting those videos. So no, I think that's what. Don't lose sight of the coverage by trying to, no pun intended, inflame sentiments. So that was the whole purpose that brought about disagreements. Okay. I think that's the main one that I wanted to respond to. Nice to see familiar faces. I gave that one a heart. That's my interview with Yvonne for travel in El Salvador. More comments with respect to status. Oh yeah. This one's from JMW Experience for my Bermuda the Brew. And someone asked me about the alarm for the punked alarm clock. It sounds like those Casio watches, but I'm gonna have to do an updated video so you can hear it for yourself. So $700 for a drip coffee maker that only makes 1 cup of coffee at a time. Forget it. Technically, you can make 2 medium cups of coffee, iced, strong, or regular. But here's the thing: the previous machines, I had to sacrifice so many beans. This one gets it right every time. So I've saved money. Instead of wasting coffee, I've been enjoying every like ground of coffee. Let's see. No, that's I already addressed that. Walk through locals. This is a great video, very helpful. Says Triorbit. Yes. Hope locals works out for you. Grievous Angel 8655. Tommy Liberty. Tommy C. You can't polish a turd. I don't know. That's a good thing or a bad thing. So there's some people I gotta respond to with the unplugged stuff, but I'm not gonna do that on this one. Brax 3. That's for next week's stream. Brax 3. I think this is all just unplugged stuff and Brax 3. Thank you for giving life to my Blackberry Priv 1 year later video. This is from Hip Hop C Cops. when I said I'm currently in dispute with YouTube over my claims on my theme songs. I'm sorry to hear that. How frustrating. I bought licensed music to stream on my channel, and damn near every song got a copyright claim. When setting disputes, many of them were rejected. I'm like, this. It's so bizarre. I responded, I've had this theme since 2019. Only 2 weeks ago that I started getting copyright claim. The license doesn't show an expiration notice, so I don't know why it's suddenly an issue. To which hip hop responds, "Man, this is so annoying. It's the content ID algorithm, from what I understand. Yes, it is." I even sent a link with my license, and many disputes were still rejected. Have you found any useful music in the audio library for creators? Maybe have someone make a custom one for you with exclusive rights so it won't get flagged. Yeah, I tried the latter. Yeah, that was pretty pricey. But I haven't checked the library for YouTube because I'm not relying on YouTube as my main thing. I'm on Rumble, so they're not hitting me with a copyright thing. So that's where I'll leave it. Well, with this, okay, yeah. Thank you so very much, everybody. Gainful protein, power greens, custom flavors, add-ons, boosts, and all that for your workouts before, after, during, even. Thank you so very much to all of you that have tuned in. Rumble, especially locals, YouTube, Twitch, X, D Live, and Gangjin World. I'm sorry if some of you chimed in on the comments for Gangjin World. The way the setup works, it's an RT PM, which means I'm diverting the stream. I can't get your comments. So if some of you chimed in the live chat, I'll try to respond to you through the platform itself sometime after the stream has been reposted. But that's where I'll leave it. Thank you so very much. I hope this thing improves. But as of right now, that's why I've been really all in on Rumble as my hosting place. And I love Rumble Studio when it works. And it works like this too, in tandem with my StreamYard. So most likely I'll keep doing that. But yeah, I think I covered just what I needed to cover. Gameful.com. Use Andres Segovia at checkout. Save 30%. Get your protein going. And that's where I'll leave it. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll see you in the next one.